Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 34 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 34 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. So I'm saying all that to say this, guys. There are a lot of people out there struggling, even with health issues. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. Guys, if you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can write to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And guess what? You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. My book is now on audio with my voice, guys. So Simon & Schuster wanted to do it with someone else's voice, and I was like, no way. My producer, the silly guy that was just here showing his butt and doing his nonsense, Ruben Rodriguez, he is part owner of Hamilton Radio and the owner of Iron Horse Films, and he is now doing audiobooks. I was his first. That's right, and he did a great job. So if any authors out there are interested doing audiobooks with your voice, please reach out. And guys, listen, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. Before I introduce one of my favorite guests of all time who's back, let me give a shout out to a few of my sponsors. So we've got, John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B., singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. Got to get my guest there one day. Okay, he's also the partner in the Joey D and Johnny B Rockin' Oldies Band, and he also sings solo. But I have to give a huge shout out to him and his wife, Linny. They put this incredible luncheon on once a month. It's by invite only, and it's only $20. You get great lunch and incredible entertainment, and they don't keep a penny of it. And they promote all of us like nobody else does. So I love you guys. You know how I feel, and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. So now, all right, I've got John Monforto, the man of many faces, singer, actor, celebrity impersonator, and tribute artist. So I gave him the title, the man of many faces, but he was given the title by a former Philadelphia mayor as the official Rocky impersonator, as the official Philadelphia Rocky impersonator. Let's get that straight. www.johnmonforto.com, and he is Rocky, guys. And my three faves, of course, is Rocky, come on, The Godfather, I'm a guinea, and, Elvis, baby. So he's amazing. Then we've got Michael D'Amore, singer, songwriter, performer, entertainer, www.michaeldamore.com. And guys, I say this about Michael. Elvis to me is up there, right? Nobody could touch Elvis. I mean, I'm an oldies do-up Elvis girl. I was born too late. But Michael's pretty close. Let me tell you something. He is incredible. So check him out if you haven't ever heard him sing, okay? Then we've got Michael Zanman, singer, entertainer, performer, www.mzanman.com. So first off, everybody keep my boy Michael Zanman in prayer. His cancer returned, and he needs all the prayers he can get, okay? I got to see him recently. He's doing a little better, but he needs the prayers. Singer, entertainer, performer. www.mzanman.com. So I had the honor and privilege of emceeing the last few years at Let East. the largest oldies car show and music show. Okay? And so we had Michael Zaman opening up for Michael D'Amore, and last year we got John Monforto into the mix. I've got a little cool Michael Zaman story for everyone. So about a year or so ago, year and a half, whatever it's been now, he recorded Mel Carter's song, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, and he put it on Facebook. Well, he didn't know it, but I sent it to my buddy Mel. Mel calls me up and says, Jerry, your boy did a great job with my song. I said, can you tell him? We got him on a surprise three-way, and Mel Carter told him himself. Now, can you imagine? He almost fell off his chair, all right? I mean, that would be like, this is like Greg Morton calling me or something. I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, imagine, okay? So here we go. Now we've got Stormin' Norman Selden, performing for live concerts and national events and promoter of shows, 732-245-4777, www.storminnormanselden.com. And let me tell you something. He's a beast on the keyboard. He's brought his keyboard here live several times in studio, and a lot of people don't know this about Norman, but he helped get Larry Chance from the Earls back in the day started. That's right. Larry's now singing in heaven with Elvis. Larry, you were like family. We all love and miss you. Rest in peace, my angel. And then, last but certainly not least, Ken Ryan and Linda Garofalo, The Way It Used to Be, singing songs from the 50s to the 80s, a tribute show to the greatest music and voices of all time. And guys, Ken also sings Elvis for me. Thank you very much. I got to finally see them last night. Okay, with Bob Kulick from The Happenings, all right? The show was awesome. I haven't seen them in a while, so it was so great to finally see my buddies again. And yes, he not only sung Elvis for me, Ken, he wore his blue suede shoes. All right, so Ken and Linda and Bob Kulick, and we love you. So now, guys, I want to introduce someone who is no stranger to the Geri Petito Show. I've become very close with. He has my silly T-shirt on, okay? He's a superstar. Okay, Greg Morton, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so this guy was a finalist on AGT. He's a comedic impressionist, but there's so much more to this guy. So I'm going to give you the mic, my love. Start telling everyone a little bit about you.
Okay, well, I started out as a baby. And how much time you got on the show?
So listen, we got plenty of time. Go ahead.
I would mimic everything on TV when I was a little kid. That's what my mom used to say. I would come out of the TV room and making funny voices because I was a real cartoon freak back then. And, we're talking about in the early 60s, so there was only about 2 or 3 channels.
Okay.
And cartoons weren't on 24/7, right?
Okay.
So I would just come out and I'd be doing,
Wait for the power percent buster.
hey, Fred, like, wow, Scoob. Get some, you're fired. Exit, stage left, right even.
So,
Dabba-dabba-doo. Hey, boy.
so wait, my producers are laughing so loud that I could hear them. Laugh a little lower, guys, a little lower. All right, so now listen. So wait a minute. You would actually do that as a little kid?
As a little kid, I would, yeah.
So it was
I would
just innate in you.
mimicking all the cartoon characters that I saw.
It was innate. It was just you.
Yeah.
Porky.
Well, at the time, my sister hadn't come along yet, so I was an only child. So I was always entertaining myself. And I'd sit in the corner and I would draw my own cartoons. And then I would make voices up for them. So that's how I played.
Did you ever do Porky Pig?
That's all, folks.
I'm going to ask you a silly question, and then we're going to give you the
sure.
mic back. Is there anyone that you've tried that you say, you know what, I don't want to do this because I'm not good enough with this voice? Is there anything?
Oh, lots of people. Mainly for me, presidents. I wish I was better at a lot of the presidents.
Oh.
I can't do a good Trump. I wish I could.
I wish you could too.
Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, it's so fun, having fun, teasing, picking
Wait,
the,
is
the
there any,
king.
what president can you do? Any?
Well, everybody can do. Bill Clinton, he's kind of sounds like he's worked out his whole voice the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think everybody could do Bill Clinton.
I can't. I don't do any
No?
voices. I'm not that person.
Well, doing impressions is a lot like singing. You find out what your pitch is and what your range is, and then if you stay in that range, you can master anything.
Yeah, I can't
You
sing
know?
either. I could just talk.
You but you're a huge fan, though, right?
Oh, are you kidding? I love impressionists and magic more than anything.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Would
Producers, a
you
little
like?
lower, guys. I love
Oh,
magicians.
this is why you get us.
Yeah. Huh?
No wonder. I said no wonder you get us because we got the mic on.
Oh,
That's why.
okay.
Hey,
See these
well,
boys?
well, since I'm on the microphone, if Jerry don't mind. Hey, Greg,
Yeah.
you should have started off with. I started off as a baby in a galaxy far, far, far away. in the distance.
Oh, you just want to hear Star Wars?
That's right.
Don't worry, we got stuff. We got
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Ruben.
coming. It's coming.
Love you, Greg.
I
We
love
got
you too.
stuff.
That was
All right.
Ruben, right?
Yep, that was
just
Ruben. So,
Hey, Ruben, I love
Yeah.
your dance moves.
Oh, thanks, Greg. I give lessons
Okay.
one time a month.
That was so fun. Your show is so much fun,
oh
Jerry.
my gosh. So, okay, so now, so wait. So let's get back to you about when you were young and you were doing all this, because this is fascinating to me. Because the reason why I love magicians and, people who do what you do, impressionists and all that, and the comedy, of course, that goes along with it, is I can't even fathom how you guys do any of this. So when I'm watching, I'm like, this is off the charts. You know what I mean? Like singers. I when I listen to great singers, I'm like, oh, that's amazing. But I get it if someone could sing. Like what you
Oh, I
guys
see.
do, I don't get it, and it's that cool. So now, when you were younger, when did you really, or your parents, whatever came first, realize this was going to be it and this was your fave?
They didn't know. In fact, I don't think I knew. Now, they knew that I liked to draw,
Okay.
and they would give me pieces of paper all the time, and I would be draw, 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 draw. And it was funny because you'd never have to worry about me because I was always quiet, and I was always sitting in the corner drawing all the time. And so I thought I was going to be a cartoonist. And later on, I got into animation. So when I went to college, I go like, that's what I want to do. I want to be an animator. And my first job ended up being working on the Scooby and Scrappy Doo show. And it's funny because I grew up watching that show, and I go, oh my goodness, we're actually working on this show.
That's cool.
Yeah. But believe it or not, when I got in there, I thought it was boring.
Oh, why?
Well, because it was like a factory job. You'd have to get a piece, you had your paper and you had to draw and you were one of the cogs in the wheel, but you weren't the creative. Like when I was in college, I was doing everything. I was doing the voices, I was drawing, I was singing, I was designing the characters, I was coming up with the story. So you see what I mean? I was
Gotcha.
kind of so multifaceted that I just got bored. And I didn't know that I was ADD at the time. I mean, when I was finally diagnosed as being ADD by the doctor, I went, oh, thank goodness. All this time I thought I was stupid.
Listen, you're
But
going to make me laugh. I don't want to laugh at that, but oh my
why,
gosh.
why weren't you told that when I was a kid, that's what I was told by the teachers, that I was stupid.
That's
it-
ridiculous.
Well, it's so good to get a second opinion, right?
First of all, can I ask online, live, how old you are?
Yeah, I just turned 67.
Okay, happy birthday. Yep, I knew that. I wanted to know if you could tell them because there's a reason why. So I'm
Why is that?
64, and when I went to school, we went to Catholic school, and they used to hit the kids. So it was
Yes.
all crap and craziness. And I'm going to share one thing about what a nun said to me. I was in fourth grade, Greg, and we're lined up to go back into the school after recess. And I was in the front, and Sister Matilda, she looked like she was 6 feet. I was a little kid. So I turn around and I say to my friend Frances Ann Romano, I'll never forget this. Fran, my mommy let me watch Elvis last night. She took her fingers in my shoulder really hard. I almost cried. I turned around and she said, "You're going to hell for that." So like that, what did they do to us back
Wow.
then, right?
Oh
It was
yeah,
so
my dad has
crazy.
great stories too, because
Yeah,
he came up through a Catholic school too,
crazy,
and oh yeah, he used to get beat all the time.
right? So don't worry, God's got them. God's taking care of them, honey. But anyway, so now back to you. So you didn't like that job, it was boring.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what happens? You've had this before, haven't you, Jerry? Where your voice comes in and goes like, "This can't be it," or
Oh,
"This
yes.
can't be what I'm meant to do.
Oh, yes.
This can't be my life purpose."
Yes.
And I go like, well, what is my life purpose? I have to go and get back to what it is that I am supposed to be doing on this planet. Maybe this was one of the things, but it can't be the only thing. So at the time, I had a disc jockey service, a mobile disc jockey service. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to focus on that because I love music and I love playing music for people. And I had to play everything for everybody. And of course, your favorite, Elvis, I played everybody.
Okay.
In fact, what I did was when I started, people were really shy. They were like, I came from a small town. It was Woodstock, Ontario, up in Canada. And we were surrounded by farming communities. And a lot of people were shy about getting up and dancing in front of people. And I thought, if I put on a show, they'll forget about themselves. They'll watch me and they'll go like, well, look at how ridiculous he looks.
Yeah.
I can't possibly look that ridiculous.
Okay. I love it.
So they'll get up and dance. And that's what happened. And I created a show around it. And what I did was some of the famous people I would dress up as. Like I had an Elvis suit. I don't have it anymore, but I had an Elvis suit. I had a Ghostbuster suit. I had a bird suit for the bird dance.
Ah. Do you have
Yeah.
photos of all that?
I think I do. I have some photos. I
I'd
don't know
love
if I
to
have
see
them
'em.
all. I don't have the Elvis suit. I
Oh,
wish I
darn
did.
it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right.
But I will look, okay?
Yeah, I would love to see what you have. Yes.
Yeah. I was skinny as a rail too back then.
We all were. Come on. All right. So now let's give everyone a little treat. So,
Okay.
producer, pick one.
He's looking at the files right now?
Yeah, he's
Is
got
he?
him in. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to share with you some of my favorite movie moments. Here we go. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Good morning, Vietnam! Great Scott! Come on, Marty. It's time to go back to the future. To infinity and beyond.
E.T. phone home. The Dodgers and the 24th for the half century. Maguire.
That's me. Wait, they're gremlins. Don't get them wet.
Hi ho!
Say hello to my little friend.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
I don't wanna. I don't have any courage. I can't. Or a brain. Or a heart. What are you? What are you? I'm Batman. I am sick and tired of these monkey-fied snakes in this Monday to Friday plane.
Yes, my precious. The fat opus has stolen from Sneaker.
You shall not pass. Nazigonya! Magiti Baba! Did you miss me? I guess not. They can take our lives, but they cannot take our freedom. Donkey. Ooh, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna stay up all night telling manly stories, and in the morning, I'm gonna make waffles. Now, whatever you do, don't push this button.
I am good.
Yeah?
I am good.
No, that's the one that kills everyone.
I am good.
No! I see dead people. Get to the chopper. That's just great. Game over, man. Game over. What are we gonna do now, man?
Why so serious? Why so serious? You come to me on my daughter's wedding day. You say, Don Corleone, I need you to do me a favor. I'm gonna make you an offer you cannot refuse.
Andrea! You! Andrea! We did it! We did it! Show me the money, Simon! Show me the money! Say it with me, Simon! Show me the money! Show me the money! I'll be back.
Listen, I'll be back.
That's
I
it?
love it.
Wow.
We got more. We got more. Okay, so listen. That's ridiculous, okay? So, all right, so wait, I have a question for you. So, AGT.
What was that?
AGT. Let's talk a little bit about AGT. So,
Well, can I tell you one thing before you
oh,
get into
absolutely.
it? Because this relates to that.
Sure.
You know what that was? Those were the original auditions for AGT.
Oh my gosh.
No music, just me in a room doing that, and then I'm sending that to the producers and going, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And then we would go through and cut all those together, and with my producer, and come up with something for the show. So those were all those ideas for the first my first two or three appearances on AGT. So that's what that was.
Wait, I have to share something. You know, I didn't know that. So.
Oh, I didn't know you knew that. Well, I'm saying.
No, I
explaining
didn't
it
know
for
that.
The,
I brought up AGT, and I didn't know that those were all the originals. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
so cool, guys. All right, so okay, so now talk about you sent them to AGT. Tell us what happened.
Well, they approached me. They said, "Would you like to be on the show?" And obviously, yeah, sure. And they what caught their eye was the Star Wars.
Yeah.
And they said, "What do you want to do first on the show?" And I says, "Well, definitely, I want to do Star Wars."
Yes.
So I had to perform it in front of a camera, like on my phone, then send them the video, then they review it, they'd show it around, the producer would go over it. Then we had to get the rights from Disney for him to do it. So I had to write down everything that I was going to say or in my audition for the show. Now, like the Wookiee, like how do you write that down, right? So anyway, they had to go over it and look at it, and they didn't want to have any of their licenses, besmirched in any way. They wanted to have it come across, well. And I'll tell you an interesting story. When I was on the show, uh, one of the openings I did was The Lion King.
Yeah.
The Na Sigonya, and it was the perfect intro. So when I did it, they said, "Can you do the Lion King?" I go, I don't know. I've never done it before. It just came out of my mouth. I couldn't believe it. They got all giddy and they go, "Oh, this is going to be great." So I'm working, I'm practicing, I'm doing these voices, making the little tapes for them. And about a few days later, they go, "Greg, we have to talk to you. We can't do the Lion King." I go, "What do you mean? Why not?" They said, they're not going to allow it. I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "It's a copyright issue. The Lion King is in theaters right now." I said, "Well, this is practically a commercial for the Lion King. What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, Disney doesn't see it that way." And I was like, "Oh no, what am I going to do?" Because I knew this was the perfect intro for this chunk of movies. It would just grab everyone right away. And if you think about it, like the theater that I was in was a huge theater, and I just let it rip. And it had a great sound, just incredible sound. So I was feeling a little depressed, kind of down, and the producer came up to me and he goes, "Greg, tonight is the live show." I go, "Yeah, I know." And he looks at me and he goes, just do it anyway. We'll say you went rogue." So so I did. I did it live on the show. There's no way they could cut it. They said, "Nah, we'll worry about it later." And we did it. Everything worked out great.
That's so
And
great.
thank goodness, right? But that's some of the things that you have to deal with on the show. You have to worry about things like they have the copyrights to all of the songs that the people perform on AGT. That's why whenever you see a singer on there, once they get to about the second or third appearance on the show, they want you doing original songs.
So, wait, I have a question.
Yeah,
So,
go.
even the first time someone comes on, they have to know what they're singing and it has to be copyright or, accepted?
Well, for those people, they have those songs. Like they have the copyright or permission to use those songs ahead of time. So it's not a worry. They have a
All
whole
right.
library.
Gotcha.
So if your song is in that library, you got no problems.
Okay.
If it's not, pick another song.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Very cool. All right. Wow. So, all right. Now,
Right?
how did it feel you got to the finalists?
Well, it was really exciting because it was at the Dolby Center, Dolby Theater, which is if you've watched the Oscars, you get a sense that it's pretty big. But I got to tell you, in real life, it's even bigger.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Just huge. I couldn't believe it. So what happens is you'll say something, and by the way, the theater was packed. You'll say something, and the laugh will come out like a wave, like "Rah!" The response, and it's almost. And I've trained myself to wait and listen for the response, and then come back with the tagline. That's
Gotcha.
what I do for comedy.
Okay.
But this completely ruined my timing because it was so loud. I could barely hear myself think. And I thought to myself, you know what, Greg? At that moment, my voice says, you gotta go automatic pilot and just trust in the Lord. and just go for it. You know, all of your training, all of your practicing, all of your auditions, and all of that stuff. You just got to chalk it up to that and just go for it. You know, like you've never swam before and you're diving into the deep end of the pool. So that's what I did, and that's how I got through it. But man, I got to tell you, that was scary.
So, but it was scary, but in a great
Yeah,
way because they were laughing because you were so incredibly funny,
yeah.
you
But can
know?
you imagine you're putting out that kind of energy,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
that's
bam.
coming back to you how many fold?
Like
As
bam.
many people are as in that theater.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
If I thought about it too long, I'd probably break down. And that's what I was afraid of. I mean, that's why they make you practice. You go and you rehearse, and you go to your hotel room and you rehearse, or you find a quiet place and you rehearse and you go over and over it again until it's practically muscle memory. And then you just go at it. You know, when I was doing my first audition with Star Wars, there was a young woman who worked for an airline. I can't remember which one. She was a gate attendant.
Okay.
And what she would do is she'd take the microphone and, and to spice it up and make it fun for all
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
passengers,
yeah, yeah. I love
she'd
that.
start singing
Okay.
over the microphone. I'd go like, wow, that is so cool. So we're hanging out together, and I'm hanging out with her family, and we're having a great time. And then it comes to the actual audition, the performance, and she looks out through the curtain. She peeks out and she sees all the people in this theater. She goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe, look at all those people out there." I'm trying to talk her off the ledge. I'm going like, don't look at the faces, just look at the top of their heads or picture them naked. I'm trying to come up with everything I can think of to help her out. But at the same time, I got to go on and do myself because, you know, for me, my attitude is just throw yourself out there
Yeah.
and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Deep into the pool, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, unfortunately, she didn't make the show. They showed a little tiny clip of her, but
Okay.
it's too bad because she
Yeah.
was a really good singer.
Okay.
But I think the nerves got the best
Yeah.
of her.
All right, so producer, come on, hit us with another one.
So right now I'd like to come out of my shell a little bit, and I'd like to act out a movie. Now this will be 2.5 hours long, so some of you are still taking this seriously. That's not gonna work out. Our kids are in the car. Who here has not seen Lord of the Rings? Raise your hand if you've not. I know she hasn't. Okay, that would explain the what the heck was that look on your face. All right. Let me explain it to you. Lord of the Rings is a movie about walking. What they do is they walk and they walk and they walk and they eat some bread and they walk some more. It's like the Bible, but longer. There are no black people in Lord of the Rings. Too much walking. No, my family would not put up with that. I ain't walking to Modo, I'll tell you that. You bring the car around, because I ain't walking to Modo. You know I got high sugar. What's wrong with you making me walk all that way? Okay, I'm guessing a lot of you here don't have black families. We're gonna move on. But I love movies. Oh, I love action movies. Action movies. Expendables. Expendables. You know what's expendable in the Expendables? The English language. Jason Statham is in it. What did you say? Sylvester Stallone. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it. Don't get ahead of me. I'm watching this movie, and my wife comes out of the bedroom. She goes, "What are you watching?" I said, "I don't know." Get to the chopper. Jet Li was the most articulate actor in that movie.
That's it.
So my black producer, he's half Italian, but he's half Italian. Got it. Say it.
Hey,
You got
Gary.
You got 1 minute.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
You know, the part that you said, my family's black because, and they wanted to do, I'll never do Lord of the Rings, so it was just too much walking. I said the same thing when I was on Happy Gilmore too. I was like, man, this is
Did you
too
really?
much. Yeah, I was like, this is just too much walking. I went to one of the guys in the go kart. I said, hey man, I'll give you $5 if you could just take me up to the, take me up to the whole thing. This is just too much walking.
All right. Listen, I was cracking up, and the kid does walk a lot, but that was so funny. So, oh my
That
God,
was so me.
that was so good. So now we have a couple more.
Fun.
We're gonna play another one. All right.
All right.
Here we go, and then we'll
It
talk
makes my
about
job easier.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Listen. I wanna give a shout out to the Geri Petito show. And I wanna give a shout out to all the Petitos out there.
Oh my God. Listen, that was priceless. When you did that for me and I sent that to my cousins on our
Oh.
text, they were going crazy. They're like, cuz, who are you? We need your autograph too, okay? It was priceless. It was priceless. I love you for that. I thank you for that.
Yeah, I was running through my files and I found that. I go, oh my goodness, I gotta send that in to
You
you.
did. And you sent us one more. All right, let's play the final one and then we'll talk a little more.
Okay, good.
Here we
Okay.
go.
Hey, Geri Petito. This is your godfather. I just wanna wish you all happy birthday. Cent'anni. And if by chance an honest woman like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies too.
That was the best. I love you. Oh my God.
Hey, Jerry.
So
It's Greg Morton. Wishing you a happy 60th birthday.
Wow.
that was amazing. I love you.
Wow.
That's the best.
That's cool.
That was almost 5 years ago. See how time
Wow.
flies? Okay, I'll be 65 in March. You said happy 60th. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool, though.
It is.
So, all right, so now all these voices we just heard and everything that you're doing and you've done, right?
Right.
I have a silly, silly question about setting up to do these voices. And we talked a little bit about it, right? Because I just can't fathom it. All right. So when you do the voices, you listen back and do you ever change things or say, okay, wait, that was perfect, but this isn't, I got to do this? Does that go on?
It depends on what it is. Like if it's for an audition, then I record, I play, I listen, then I go back to the original. I try more than anything, I try to get the essence of the character and almost characterize or caricature the sound. So it kind of sounds like it, but it kind of, it has a caricatured feel to it because I'm a comedian, so I want to inject my own personality into it. Now, I'll give you an example. Sometimes I have duels with my fans. They think they go, oh, I would love to do that. I'd like to do impressions. I said, well, I said, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Let's have a fan duel. And one of my listeners or my fans came up to me he says, I do a good Gilbert Gottfried. I go like, oh yeah, Gilbert. I love Gilbert Gottfried. So Gilbert is in here. It's kind of a raspy voice. So what I'm doing is I'm squeezing off I'm squeezing off my inside my throat, like in here. Yeah, and you get a bit of the accent in there, and it helps if you squint your eyes and you can't see a thing, and I can't believe it. And it just magically comes out. I mean, physically, if you get into the character, I don't know what it does, but it transforms your vocal cords or something. It helps you become it because you're not just doing the voice, you're acting it as well. That's what a lot of people don't realize. People go like, oh, I can do funny voices. But you got to do a lot more than that.
Yeah.
There's a lot more work to it.
Yeah.
Same thing with singing. When you're singing a song, you look at the lyrics and what they mean, and you try to,
Yeah.
right?
Your heart, you have to feel it.
You have to feel it, and that comes through. And that's why when we sing with some of our favorite singers and we listen to them, we start crying.
Yeah.
Because we can feel that.
Yes. So, okay, so now you're ADHD, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so is it safe to say that your comedy and impressions helped save your life?
Well, it certainly kept me focused
Okay.
because I never saw it as a negative. I mean, obviously, it bothered me at the time, but if I really needed to focus on something, I could. It needed to be something that I loved.
Okay.
It's just that I got bored easily.
Right.
And it was the same thing with that show. When I was working on that, I got like, I can't do this the whole time for the rest of my life. Drawing these pictures, they're not even my characters.
Right.
So I have to, or sometimes I distract myself, or sometimes I'll do 2, 3, 4 things at the same time. Just, I'm bored, and then I'll move over and that way I get more things done. Now, if there's a deadline, I have to buckle down, but it is very difficult for me to focus on one thing. And in fact, you know what's weird? I just realized this. I eat like that.
Oh.
If I get a plate of food, I will, okay, it's got meat, potatoes, and a vegetable. Well, I eat all the vegetables first. Then I eat the mashed potatoes, and then I eat the meat.
A lot of people do that. Not me. I'm Italian. I just grab whatever. I mix stuff together. Yeah, it's funny.
Right? Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize I did that. I thought about it.
Wow.
Yeah. But, I knew that I was able to focus on things because how could I sit there and draw
Right. That's right.
by myself that whole time as a little kid?
That's right.
But school was just, I think we just need to some people, everybody learns differently, right? Some people are auditory learners.
Yes.
Some people are visual. A lot of it is just memorization, really. And if you think about it, if I couldn't memorize things, maybe I had early onset Alzheimer's or something. I don't know. But I couldn't, I really had a hard time memorizing too. I had to just sit there and focus and memorize. Very boring to me.
Okay. So now, wow, okay. I get that. I get that. So now, all right, let me ask you something else. So
Okay.
now, when you do your comedy, you do your stand-up, okay?
Mhm.
What do you do more of, or is it mixed, or does it just whatever you feel like? Do you do more of the impressions, or more just jokes, or is it mixed? Like, What do you see
It
yourself?
is completely mixed.
Okay.
And a lot of times it's whatever I want to do.
Okay.
It's whatever vibe I'm getting off the audience, what I feel. I feel their if I feel their attention sliding a little bit, then okay, let's kick it up a notch, and then I go into impressions,
Oh, very
or I'll
cool.
go into a song parody.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Anything to switch it up. What's that?
That's very cool. So
Yeah.
you're focused on right. That's really great. Okay.
Well, I'm like you, Jerry. I love the old school entertainment.
Yes.
The old school entertainers, that's what they used to do. They could do everything. You come out in 1 minute, they're tap dancing, then they're telling jokes,
Yeah.
then they're in a skit, and then they're singing. It's like, what?
It's amazing.
But that's what everybody did back then
Yeah.
on those variety shows. Remember
It's
growing up
amazing.
as a kid?
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah. And that's what I always wanted to do. And so I kind of think my style came from those variety shows that I watched as a kid, like Carol Burnett and
Yeah, sure.
Sonny and Cher show. And when I first started in stand-up comedy, a lot of the comedians are going like, what is this? That's not comedy, or that's not stand-up comedy. Well, no, but as later I came to realize that that's me.
Okay.
And if that's me, then I am being true to myself.
Yes. 1,000. We
Right.
got to actually meet Carol Burnett, all of us, and we actually had her on Zoom. Oh no, that was the phone one, I think. Phone when we did back then with Hamilton Radio. It was really cool.
Wow. She's one of my favorites,
Yeah.
all-time favorites.
Yeah, me too. Very cool.
And I late at night, I watch old clips of the Johnny Carson show, or I'll watch Dean Martin roast, and Don Rickles. And Don Rickles is so fast.
Wait, Don Rickles. Okay, you've probably seen this. Okay, so, I was never really a Don Rickles fan. All right, you either love him or hate him, and that is the truth, okay? So, but he was brilliant. He was brilliant. All right, so anyway, this got me. I got to tell you. If you Google it, it'll come right up for you, okay? Don Rickles is doing his nonsense, and in the front row is a husband and wife, older, and obviously she was only there because of her husband. She did not like him, so she is heckling him, okay? He comes over and he says to the husband, if that was my wife, I'd give her poison to drink. She stands up and says, if you were my husband, I'd drink it. He stops the show. He brings her on stage. Okay, he was like, in all my years, his words are different than mine, but basically what he was saying was, in all my years, I've never been shut up like this. It was priceless. And, I bet you she's a fan now. All right, it was great. It was really great.
You know what, Jerry? I'm the same way. If an audience member comes up with a really good line, I give them their due.
Yes.
Because that's a golden moment.
Yes.
You can't script something
No.
like that. And you're already flying by the seat of your pants anyway. But if something like that happens, that's comedy
It was
gold.
comedy.
I
and
just love that.
He was brilliant. So I always laugh and say, now I bet she loves him. That was brilliant. So, Greg,
that's funny. Good story.
I'm going to give you the mic back. We still have a little bit of time, and I don't want you to say, oh, I wanted to share this with the audience, or I forgot that. And also, any information on how they can reach out to you if you want to be hired, all that. Let's do that before we forget.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to reach out to me, there's a contact form on my website. So you go to gregmorton.com, hit contact, and then that will go to my agent. And let's do it. Let's do some gig time.
All right.
If you're into, go ahead.
Wait, and guys, if you want to call him, like his cell phone, 10 grand, you send it to me personally, all right? And we'll talk about it. Go ahead.
I love you, Jerry.
I love you too, baby.
I'm so having such a great year this year.
No, but finish. You were saying so they could contact you that way. Go ahead. And then what else?
Instagram. If you love Instagram, Greg Morton Comic. I'm doing a lot of stuff on there. That's my jam.
Okay.
TikTok, not so much. I put some things on there, but I like Greg Morton. So Greg Morton Comic on there. and I usually post about 3 to 5 times a week.
Okay.
Sometimes where I'm going to be, also where I'm going to be. Obviously, it's on my website if you click on tour dates.
Okay.
But if you subscribe to my website, which is like a blog posting site, you'll get a weekly blast of where I'm going to be, and that's how you stay in touch and find out where I'm going to be in that. And this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll be in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh my gosh.
At Comedy Off Broadway. It's one of my favorite clubs. The audiences there are incredible. They always come out to laugh. I've never had a bad show. It's an incredible club. So, and I also find that they are some of the easygoing crowds I've ever met. They just go along with whatever you want to do. So if I feel like I want to improvise or make things up or play with the crowd a little bit, yeah, sure, Greg, go and do whatever you want to do. So that's what I do.
So hold on a minute. When are you coming to the tri-state area, mister? You know, New Jersey, PA, New York, you know what I mean?
Well, I hope it's soon. I've been trying to get there for the last 4 or 5 years.
So tell your producer to reach out to me. Maybe we could get this to happen.
Okay.
All right? We have a theater close to us in Lakewood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right? We'll
How big
talk.
is it?
Oh, it's pretty big. The Strand Theater. I'm assuming, I don't want to say. I did some shows back in the day pre-COVID there. Maybe 2,000, 3,000 people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Wow.
So,
That's great.
you know.
Maybe what we should do, like you produce big shows, right?
Well, no, I don't do
With
them
several-
anymore since COVID because all the places in my township closed up.
Oh no.
So, yeah, but I still know people that work at these places, you know, so.
Well, that's the big problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's happened to a lot. We've lost a lot
Yeah.
of venues.
One of the venues was in my township for 55 years, maybe longer.
Mhm.
And I had a show with the Capris.
Mhm.
Okay. Right pre-COVID. Right after COVID, it shut down after all that time.
That's
Okay.
sad.
Yeah, with Michael Diamore and then Ken Brady from the casinos. He flew out and
Yeah.
surprised us. He got up on stage.
Wow.
And yeah, it sucks. So,
Do you think that we're back yet? Do you think we're fully back? What do you think?
well, I think we're back. But again, because of a lot of the venues that closed up, it hurt the industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
know?
what I find too. And I also find that it's really hard getting people out of their
Yeah,
off their tuchus now.
that's right.
They're
That's right.
trained to just sit there and watch
Yeah.
Netflix or look
Yeah.
at their phone.
And the other thing
And-
that's happened, and I'm going to share it, okay? My friends
Yeah.
that are going to be watching might not like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. Because of the situation, a lot of people started singing in restaurants for dirt cheap just to get the work.
Oh.
And it's brought a lot of the entertainers, they're like, they don't want to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's sad.
Yeah.
What's
And I've
happening?
always said that too. Even when I was younger and I had my own business, cut your price, cut your throat.
Yeah, you know, it's very
Because that's
sad.
basically what you're doing.
That's
and
right.
people don't attribute any value to anything unless
it.
they pay.
That's-
There's got to be
There you
an
go.
admission fee.
There you go. So now, all right, Greg, we have a few minutes left. So first off, I want to thank you again for honoring me here on the Geri Petito Show. Your voices, everything about you. I love you. I got to hug you one day. And my
It's
producers,
going to happen.
my producers love you, and it's just been amazing here on Hamilton Radio. But can you do another little something live for us with that voice or a joke or something? Give me something.
I got to do this for Ruben because he's a huge Star Wars fan.
Okay, do it for Ruben. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Join me, Luke. Join me on the dark side. Oh no, Master Luke, Master Luke. Look at Luke, look at Luke, look at Luke. leader, the gold leader standing by. Gold leader, red leader standing by. Look out, Porkins. It's trapped. Waka loco solo.
Oh my God.
Chaba waka. Yes, yes. Go ahead, young Skywalker. Join me and your father on the dark side of the board. Do or do not. There is no try. Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm listening liking you.
Oh my God. All right, Ruben, what do you got to say to this guy? Come on, turn it on. He's talking into a mic that's not turned on.
Oh, there it is. That's why.
And he's the producer.
Thank you, Greg. We will join you to the dark side. And I will join you. We will join forces.
Wow.
That was pretty good, Ruben. That was pretty good.
Listen to that. That was
right.
good.
That's all I can do. So your job's secure, Greg.
That's great. So, Greg, oh my God, listen, you are incredible.
Love you, Greg. Love you.
Incredible.
I love you too. Love you too.
I
love
have
you
a
guys.
I have a silly question.
And Greg, you owe me a hug too.
That's right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he wants it, baby. All right, listen. I have a silly question before we close because I just have to ask you. All
Yeah,
right?
sure.
All right. So when you see your videos back, right? When you're looking at your videos of you doing this stuff.
I try not to.
Okay, I get it.
I have a really hard time watching
Okay,
myself.
and I can understand why. But listen, you have seen yourself, so I already know you have. So what goes through your friggin' mind?
Jerry, just don't read the comments.
Okay.
Right?
Oh my God, that's great. You're amazing.
When I watch them, sometimes I surprise myself, actually.
Okay.
I actually do. I go like, whoa, where did that come from? It's almost like you're channeling something. Well, it is in a way,
You
right?
are.
I mean, if
You are.
we are all connected to our source,
That's
which
right.
is God.
That's
And
right.
that's the God source. That's where that comes from.
All right. So this is time for my poem. Okay?
Oh.
So the reason why I read this poem when I do the entertainers, it's called Utilizing Gifts and Talents, is because my people will message me. I got 50 messages already on text. All right? They think I can look at my texts, okay, on my phone. So first off, I laugh. So anyway, a lot of people question their self-worth and think sometimes they have nothing to offer, right? But everyone has something to offer. And you know, right? And I always say this. I say this on most of my shows. What would we do without sanitation workers? Like, what would we do? You know, my uncle and my cousin were sanitation workers when I was growing up in Long Island City, and they used to do the garbage on our block. And when they would come by on the truck, they would wave. That, like, just warms my heart. And so everyone is needed. And here's the thing, guys. God didn't just say, I'm going to make Greg Morton the silliest, stupidest, funniest guy in the world, because he is, okay? He didn't say, Jer, I'm going to make you the best talker, because I am, you know what I'm saying. No. But listen, he's given us all a gift. So if you're questioning it, listen to every single word of this poem I wrote, okay? Utilizing gifts and talents. We are born with talents. We are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used. God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour, like this guy's doing. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. So don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, then you can roar. Be happy. Be happy you're alive. Be proud of who you are and happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Greg Morton, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give to yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. Your legacy will live on and on and on and on. And you make people smile every day, every time they watch you, think of you. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. That is a beautiful poem, and I'm going back to visit my old public school next week, and I'm gonna read that poem to the kids.
Please. Oh my gosh, message me.
I'm gonna share that.
Thank you. Message me and tell me how it went, okay?
I will.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome. So, producer, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
Is it really true? Is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.